Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Wrestling Experience. Welcome to another Thursday edition of the Wrestling Experience. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about AEW Dynamite. I also have predictions for Backlash this Saturday night, and we're going to talk about wrestling's juicy, hottest topics. Of course, we're going to talk about the New Day, of course, Tama Tonga, and of course, JC Mateo. We're going to talk about all of that here tonight on a jam-packed edition, on a fun edition. It's Thursday. You landed on that mothership. It's time for the experience. It's time for the wrestling experience. All right, folks, welcome back to the experience. Make sure that you hit that like button, you smash that like button, and you subscribe today, and you be part of it all. Well, folks, ladies and gentlemen, let's just talk about this for a second. Let's just jump right into it. And I'm going to give you the backlash predictions. It's time for backlash predictions, ladies and gentlemen. And tonight, we're going to talk about backlash. We're going to talk about the build for backlash. We're going to talk about everything that you need to know about backlash. And I'm going to tell you something, folks. On my community tab, on my community tab, I asked you I asked you if you are fed up with WWE and TKO's business practices, and you all said yes. Overwhelmingly, you all said yes. And I want to thank you all for voting. It was a question I wanted to ask the community, and you all responded in kind, and you said that you are fed up with WWE and their shenanigans. Um, Butterfly, how's it going tonight? Hope all is well. Go Roman Reigns. Yeah, all right, Butterfly. Thank you so much for your comment and hit the like button, Butterfly, and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. Giving you a like. Thank you, Butterfly. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's just jump right into it. WWE right now is in a state of flux. And what I mean by a state of flux is that all of these releases, and now the New Day is part of these releases. I mean, the New Day was a staple in WWE. They were a staple. And now that they're gone from the WWE, a lot of fans are not happy about this. They're not happy about this, and I don't blame them. I don't blame them. TKO stepped in and wanted to give New Day restrictions on their contract, and they said no. They said no, so they walked out of WWE. Also, ladies and gentlemen, leaving WWE, Tama Tonga. Tama Tonga is no longer with WWE, as is JC Mateo. So all of these men are gone on top of the cuts that the WWE did after WrestleMania. And of course, Raw and SmackDown continue to slip sliding away in the booking and in the entertainment department. Because here's the thing, they're doing these comedic spots with Danhausen and all of this stuff, and they're trying to, I don't know what they're trying to do, but they're not focusing on what they need to focus on, and that is the wrestling, and that is a good storyline. And as far as Roman Reigns is concerned, here's the thing, Roman just won the title at WrestleMania. Now they're saying that they pulled him from WWE events. Then when I took a look, then they put him back on the list. So is he going to be full time, or are we going to have the same crap that we had when Roman Reigns was champion? Because I want to see Roman Reigns in full time gear mode. I want to see him on television with that belt prominent. I don't want to see Roman Reigns 1 minute on television and then 3 to 4 weeks later he comes back. I don't want to see that. We've been there, done that. Roman Reigns needs to be prominent on television with that belt. And that's all I'm saying. If you don't agree with me, that's fine. That's fine. But I think that Roman Reigns should be on TV prominently. And and that's all I have to say about that. As far as the New Day being cut from WWE, I mean TKO stepped in and they just resigned they just resigned the New Day, only to have chaos in backstage with TKO's muddling their nose in the business and making New Day walk because they want to give restrictions. Can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up. The storylines are very weak. They're not really that strong. They're not really that prominent. The only thing that's really strong and prominent on television right now, and it's hot right now, is the Braun Breaker and, of course, Seth Rollins feud. That's been hot. Then you have Roman Reigns, and of course, he's going after the Samoan werewolf, Jacob Fatu. So that's been very hot, that feud. There's only two feuds on television right now that are really, really and truly hot right now, off the presses. The rest of it is really not that relevancy. I mean, yes, they WWE Raw signed Sol Ruka. She comes on. Then we add Ricky Saints. He comes on WWE SmackDown. So he's on SmackDown right now. So really, there's really nothing to jump up and down about when it comes to the new signees and what they're going to do with them. I want to see Sol Ruka and Ricky Saints get some prominent stuff on television. I don't want to see them sinking in the low and the mid card. I don't want to see that. I think that they deserve more than that. Especially been in NXT and what they've accomplished there. So it's going to be interesting to see exactly what are they going to do at this point with those two. I'm going to keep an eagle eye on it, and then I'll give you my thoughts on it. But like I said, I give you my thoughts on the New Day. I think it was a miscarriage of justice with what TKO did here. And as far as JC Mateo and Tama Tonga walking out of WWE, they just didn't really have much to go on. All they had the MFTs do is feud with the Wyatt Six, and that got very boring very quickly. The flip flopping the titles back and forth, hot potato, hot potato, hot potato, playing hot potato with the title, and then ultimately losing those titles. And it looks like the return of the Street Profits, they want those tag team belts taken off of the Vision. And I think they're going to build that up for SummerSlam. I have a feeling that's what they're building it up to. I think that's what we're going to get at SummerSlam. Those tag team belts are going to be up for grabs at SummerSlam against the Vision taking on of course, the return of the Street Profits. So I could see them doing that, even though we've seen the Street Profits tag team champions already. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. Now, let's talk about Backlash for a second. Let's talk about Backlash. Backlash is going to happen this Saturday night. This Saturday night at 6 p.m. That's a special start time of 6 p.m. on ESPN. I believe it's going to be on ESPN2 and the ESPN app. The first hour of Backlash will be seen on ESPN. I believe it's 2. If you have ESPN2, then you can watch, excuse me, you can watch Backlash. So, so we have Backlash coming up this Saturday night. Um, the build for this Backlash really it's non-existent. Like I said, the only feuds that I see here in this Backlash is the feud with Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker, and then you have Jacob Fatu and Roman Reigns. So that's the only feud that is hot right now. The rest of the card, I it's not even worth mentioning or even want to look at or even want to watch. But I'll run down the list. I'll run down the list and I'll give it to you. I believe we're only going to be getting 4 matches here or 5. Let's just start off hot. Let's just start off hot here. Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is going to take on Braun Breaker. The match is going to be fine. The match is going to be hot. If you saw Monday Night Raw, Seth Rollins got speared out of his shoes. He did. He got speared out of his shoes not once, but twice. He was neutralized. He was neutralized in this, and he was taken care of by Braun Breaker this past Monday night on Raw. So now we have this match coming up at Backlash. Now this match could swing either way. This could swing either way, but I don't know what's going to happen here in this match. All I know is that Rollins was excommunicated out of the Vision, and he wants a piece of Braun Breaker for what he did at WrestleMania, for what he's been doing, for what he did to him on Raw. So, based upon what I said, and based upon what I'm going to go with here, I'm going to give the edge, no pun intended, to Seth Rollins. I think Seth Rollins is going to win this match. I think he's going to defeat Braun Breaker, and I think that's exactly what's going to happen. Now, the Vision could get involved in here. Austin Theory, Logan Paul, they could interfere in the match. We could see that happen. But I think Rollins will find a way to win this match. I think he's going to find a way to win this match. So I have Seth Rollins defeating Braun Breaker. Okay. For the United States Championship, we have Trick Williams We have Trick Williams versus Sami Zayn, and Carmelo Hayes has been added. Oh, so we have a triple threat now. United States Championship for the title. I had no idea that Carmelo Hayes was added. Okay. Well, folks, we have a triple threat for the United States Championship. Now, here's the thing. This feud with Sami Zayn and Trick Williams, it was good in the beginning, but then it got corny with Little Yachty and the gingerbread man and the jokes and all that stuff. Really was not necessary in this feud. It was really dumb. If you want me to be perfectly honest with you, the feud is dumb. And when something is dumb, it's not politically correct. It's not feasible. So I had an issue with this feud. I have an issue with it. And every time Sami Zayn come out, he gets the booed crap out of him. So the crowd just boos the crap out of Sami Zayn. And Sami Zayn is so delusional. He thinks that the fans are really loving him, but they're really not. There's not, and I don't know anybody. Now, listen, if you are a Sami Zayn fan, I'm not trampling on your thought process. Not doing that. If you love Sami Zayn, great, bravo. You love Sami Zayn. However, there are a handful, more than a handful, that are not liking Sami Zayn. So I don't know what's going to happen here, folks. As far as my prediction goes, Carmelo Hayes just won the United States Championship at WrestleMania. So he will defeat Carmelo Hayes and he will defeat Sami Zayn. Trick Williams is going to retain. I see Trick Williams retaining here over his combatants at Backlash. So I have Trick Williams retaining the United States Championship. Io Sky versus Asuka. Io Sky will take on Asuka. Match is gonna be fine. The only thing is that was dumb was Kairi Sane getting released by WWE after she was inserted in the feud. It made no sense. She's in the middle of the feud and then you just dump her and release her. It didn't make sense. The decision to release her did just make no sense in the middle of the feud. Anyway, Io Sky, Io Sky and Asuka are gonna mix it up here. What's gonna happen here? I see Asuka winning. I think Asuka's gonna win this match. I don't know. Like I said, the match could go either way. Asuka's been doing a lot of things to Io Sky backstage, but I don't know if Io Sky can withstand Asuka. I don't know if she can withstand Asuka one on one. I'm gonna say Asuka wins this match. I'll give the edge to Asuka. Asuka is gonna defeat Io Sky here at Backlash. Okay. Here's something really dumb. Kip Wilson and The Miz taking on Danhausen and Mystery a Partner. Now, folks, this is dumb. This match is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my. It's dumb in booking. It really is dumb. Now, if you like this match, that's fine. I'm not a fan of The Miz, as everyone knows that. Not a fan of him whatsoever. No, I don't like him. Don't like the Miz. Cannot take him. Did fell asleep during a Miz match once at a live show, and I did. That is how disinterested I was. So, so in this match, I really don't care about this match. I have no feelings for this match. I don't have any love for this match, folks. I just don't. So, based upon what I've said here, based upon what I'm going to say, I am going to say that um, I guess we're going to have Danhausen defeat The Miz and Kit Wilson. Like I said, I'm not a fan of this match. I think the match is dumb. It's whack. Why is it on here? I have no idea. This is a SmackDown match. This is not a pay-per-view worthy match. It really is not. All right, folks. Then we have the main event of Backlash, which will close Backlash, by the way. Roman Reigns will take on Jacob Fatu for the World Heavyweight Championship. Good match. Jacob Fatu and Roman Reigns have been going at it for weeks now. And Fatu says, I need that title. And he wants the title. He's been using that Tongan death grip on Roman Reigns to neutralize him. But I don't think at this time Jacob Fatu is ready for the tribal chief. I have Roman Reigns. I have Roman Reigns retaining over Jacob Fatu here in the main event of Backlash. Jacob Fatu is not getting that title anytime soon. So Roman will win the match, and I shudder to think what's going to happen once we have him win this match. I hope they don't take him off of WWE TV. I hope he comes back, makes a promo on Raw the next night, the fallout from Backlash, and we could move forward in the program. All right. All right, folks. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was your Backlash 2026 predictions. Okay. All right, folks. Now we're going to move on to something else. And we're going to give you wrestling news, and then we're going to end the night with AEW Dynamite. Daniel Verita Sports, how's it going tonight? Happy Thursday. What's up, all? Hi, Daniel Verita Sports. Thank you so much for popping into the chat. Please make sure, Daniel, you hit that like button. And, of course, you subscribe and share out the stream. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much, everybody in the chat. Please make sure that you hit that like button. You curb stomp that like button. Thank you very much. So that was Backlash. Okay. All right, folks. Let's give you some wrestling news, courtesy of our good friends at Cage Side Seats. I have a story here about the comparison between Andrade and Aleister Black and their WWE tenure. Let's talk about it. Like Andrade, Aleister Black, long rumored WWE return was fairly uneventful and much shorter than anyone expected. Actually, Andrade's second WWE run was longer. Black actually only lasted a year before he and his wife Zelina Vega were among the talent let go in the annual post-WrestleMania releases. Seeing as there were rumors about the 40-year-old Dutchman being unhappy for what felt like the eternity of his 3+ years in AEW as Malachi Black, few experts SCS scoops might Richland reported that Tom Bergen, Black's real name, um, is in active negotiations with All Elite Wrestling. Yesterday, Fightful Sean Ross Sapp got a denial from AEW, which was followed by F4 Online's Brian Alvarez telling the ex subscribers, I know people in AEW who saw the report that AEW was negotiating with Aleister Black, and I can tell you that that was absolutely astounding. WWE is currently okay. So apparently, they were absolutely astounded. So apparently, Aleister Black is not going to AEW because he wasn't happy in AEW. So if he wasn't happy in AEW, why would he return to a company that he was not happy with? He was frustrated with the creative, he was frustrated with Tony Khan, and he was frustrated with the whole process. So I don't see Aleister Black going back to AEW. I don't see that happening. Maybe TNA, maybe. Maybe he'll show up on TNA. But I don't think Aleister Black is going to AEW. I don't think so. Because he wasn't happy there. Why would you go, like I said before, why would you go back to a company that you're not happy with? So that don't make sense. All right. Let's continue, folks. WWE currently is plans to debut Blake Monroe on SmackDown by the end of May, according to the PW Insider. But the site reminds us that plans change all the time in pro wrestling. So Blake Monroe is another call up from NXT. She was in AEW, as you all know. She was feuding with Tony Storm, and now she's going to debut in WWE SmackDown roster. And the SmackDown's roster, really needs some star power. They really do. I don't think storyline wise, WWE knows what to do with SmackDown anymore because they need new stars. They need to create new stars, and they got to get better storyline. They got to get better storylines because here's the thing, folks: you can't keep doing what you're doing currently on SmackDown. It's not working. The booking sometimes is suspect. Sometimes I question some of the decisions that they make on SmackDown. So it's kind of like a hodgepodge of a hot mess. So I don't know what's going to happen here, folks. All I know is that she's going to debut, and I shudder to think, and I hope and I pray that they gave her something prominent on television and not waste everyone's time by not doing anything with her. So we're going to see what happens with that. I'm going to keep my eye on that. Um, okay. Chelsea Green posted that she'll be back in WWE very soon after undergoing a medical procedure to correct a heart issue. So Chelsea Green is in the hospital right now, and she went on. She was in the hospital, and she had some procedure done to her heart, and we hope that Chelsea Green gets better, and we wish her well. And get better soon, Chelsea, and get that heart working, and hope everything works out for you. Okay. WWE filed a trademark Nakarua I don't speak Japanese, folks. I'm sorry. Evil's new WWE name regarding Fightful report that it would be something else. Sap posted that there's an initial material for Evil with the trademark name Knox Rajin as Sunday. So it seems like the name adjustment was recent. So apparently, this new superstar that's coming in, he will be coming in the near future in WWE, and Nakaru Evil is his name, and I guess it's going to be something. I don't know if he's going to be on the red brand or he's going to be, um, or he's going to be on the blue brand. But we're going to see what happens here when this individual enters the WWE world. Um, Jim Rodriguez, a former producer of DAZN Univision and ESPN, who has also done some television hosting in English and Spanish, announced he's joining WWE. He's joining Team WWE, bucket list dream job. I joined WWE as a senior associate producer and going to be involved with Raw, SmackDown, and NXT productions and making trips to Mexico for AA. Beyond excited. So congratulations to Jim Rodriguez. He's going to be a senior associate producer for WWE. Maybe they need some help with that creative storyline. Maybe he can go in there and shake things up a little bit and do that. Okay, folks, well, that was your wrestling news for tonight. That is what's happening in the airport. All right, folks, let's talk about Dynamite. Last night, Dynamite took place in South Carolina. And I'm going to tell you something, folks. Last night's Dynamite was a tribute to Ted Turner. If you all didn't know, Ted Turner passed away from Lewy body dementia. And I'm going to tell you something. If you all don't know who Ted Turner is, he was a prominent figure on television. He created CNN. He created things like TNN and of course TNT and all of these cable networks. He was also involved in wrestling, having Nitro on TNT and beating WWE for weeks and weeks in a row as the number one television show on TV. So that happened with underneath Ted Turner. So last night, Sting and Tony Schiavone paid tribute to Ted Turner by doing a 10-bell salute. I didn't see any AEW wrestlers coming out on the stage as they do in WWE when they pay tribute to somebody. The entire locker room empties and they go on stage and do a 10-bell salute. We didn't get that. It was just Sting and Tony Schiavone in the ring. The timing was a little bit off because Tony Schiavone didn't announce to the crowd that we were going to do a 10-bell salute, but okay. So we did the 10-bell salute for Ted Turner, and it was a good show. It was a good show. It was a fun show. Then we had Collision afterwards. I did watch Collision, by the way. Bradley just entered the studio. Bradley, let's have Bradley on the line. Let's add him to the stage. Hey, Bradley, how's it going tonight?
It's Brady, brother. How you doing, my dude?
Yeah, good. How's it going? How's it going tonight?
I got my bad, brother. I saw the link late, but I'm glad I'm able to tap in here.
Yeah, no, I'm happy to be welcome to the Wrestling Assist for the very first time. Welcome.
Hopefully, this is considered a fashionably late appearance, coming in at the 34-minute mark.
Listen, it's better late than never, my friend.
Right, right. There we go.
Yeah, I mean, there are days when I've done this show. I've done this show now for 3 years, and I'm gonna tell you something. There was one time I was fashionably late. I was supposed to be on the air at 7 o'clock. I didn't get in here until 7:45. I had some technical issues, but you know something,
It
folks.
happened. It
It,
happened.
it happens. It happens, folks. It happens. Um, so I was talking about. I was in the middle of talking about the wrestling news that we were going through. And then I was talking
Like,
about dynamite. I
okay.
want to get you. I want to get your opinion on this, my friend. What do you think of Will Ospreay and this whole Death Rider situation?
I
Now I'm
love it personally.
confused.
I love it personally. And so granted, admittedly, I was actually on shout out to my friends in the ring. I was on their podcast last night. So I actually have not watched. I only got to watch like a few clips of AEW Dynamite. So you might have to catch me up. Like, so the last thing I saw was from last week when Will Ospreay, was in kind of like that makeshift dojo with them and basically looked like he was about to get jumped in to the Death Riders. I do not know what happened last night.
Okay, well, yeah, I'll bring you up to speed.
All right.
So in the segment, we see we saw Will Ospreay on the floor, and Moxley joined him on the floor. And of course, Moxley, Moxley and his riddles. I had no idea what he was talking about. I should have think what he was telling Osprey. But then he had Will Yuta get on his back, and he was doing these weird like stretches or poses or something like that, and he was doing the sit-ups on his back. They were doing all kinds of weird things with him back there. And Pac went there and put his hand over the camera. He said, "No, that's enough. You filmed enough." So he puts his hand over the camera. We didn't see the whole thing, but I just think the whole thing is very bizarre because they're training him to be an assassin, and but then he was feuding with them a couple of weeks ago on a pay-per-view. So I don't understand how did you flip the script like this? Like, how is this possible?
Yeah. I mean, that does sound super weird. I heard something. Was there something involving Samoa Joe? Did Samoa Joe do something with Will Ospreay? I heard something about it.
Yeah, and then Samoa Joe and the Ops did a promo, and then they were cutting a promo, and they were talking about Osprey, and they were talking about him, and they were saying how that the Ops helped him with the Death Riders. Now you're hanging with the Death Riders. What's up with this? Like, what are you doing? Like, it's like, what are you doing?
So I
It's
guess
almost like a.
I
Go
mean, I
ahead.
guess
I'm
they're
sorry.
trying to, I think they might be trying to tell a story, which is interesting considering it was probably around this time last year. I'm bad with like dates and stuff, but like when Will Ospreay chose to stop messing with the Don Callis family, do it on his own. Now all of a sudden it looks like he's looking for a new family, and like the United Empire, you got them overseas, but here in AEW, like who does he have? And so John Moxley broke him with that ring
Right.
to the point where now he's like, okay, I'm clearly not the best. I thought I was better than everyone, but I'm not even better than you. So yeah, please like teach me or help me, heal me. And so
Right.
now Samoa Joe and the Ops getting in there is interesting. Um, yeah, I mean, I like it though. It's giving me almost like Winter Soldier vibes, where like he's like this machine, and it's like who's gonna try and bring this out of him? When does the machine just snap and torment the controller? Like I do enjoy it being because it felt like for a while we were just getting Will Ospreay puts on the best matches. He's the best wrestler. This is what we're doing. And that's easy to do, especially in AEW. And we've seen that before with multiple wrestlers, but I like them getting a little bit creative here. Because you don't really hear
Yeah.
people talk often about Will Ospreay character work or stories told outside of the ring. So I like a new chapter.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Bruce, how's it going? Hi, Bruce. How's it going? Long time no see, Bruce. How's it going tonight? hit the like button, Bruce. Thank you so much. Um, Earl, I kicked the like button in the beans and the franks. Okay, well, thank you very much. Greatly appreciate that. Thank you. Earl, I'm glad you came back as wrestling is not good without you. Oh, thank you very much, Bruce. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yeah, I've been a fan for 3 decades, as everybody knows, ladies and gentlemen, and I've been doing this wrestling experience for 3 solid years now. And I love having guests like my friend here, and we're all having fun here tonight in this community. Where can we find you on social media? And please tell me your name again, please.
So this is Brady. I am the custodian of charisma. I am the ophthalmologist of optimism. I am 1/3 of the heel marks. We are the best friends in all of professional wrestling. So everyone, you want to follow us at the heel marks. It used to be just me and my best friend Danielle as the duo, but we have since added a third heel mark. He is a preteen. He's going to be 13 in July. He is the masked menace of media. He's out there in North Kakalaki, and he's been killing it doing interviews of local talent out there, and getting interviews with future WWE superstars, because a lot of the guys he's interviewing and girls he's interviewing are getting WWE ID like the next week. So shout out, please follow him at Masked Menace of Media. And once again, you can follow us anywhere and everywhere at the heel marks.
Yeah, and I greatly appreciate that, Brady. And again, it's always good to have you here. And you won't. This is not the last time I'm going to ask you to come on the show.
Yes.
No, no,
I'm
no, no.
gonna come 5 minutes late the next time, instead of 30.
My door is always open. Yes, you can always open that forbidden door.
Yes.
Anyway, yes, ladies and gentlemen. Bruce says, "Hi, Brady. I feel Earl is number one at wrestling." Okay, well, thank
I'm
you.
not going to disagree with you, Bruce. I'm not going to disagree with you.
Now, here's the thing, folks. Yeah, I do at times here on YouTube and of course X and all kinds of social media platforms. I do have to go against other podcasters, and they are good as well. And I've seen you in action, Brady, and I think that you are absolutely fabulous at what you do.
Appreciate you, bro.
And yeah, no problem. And I always give a shout out to everybody who does their thing with wrestling. Because listen, we all have different minds when it comes to wrestling.
That's right. And that's the one thing that bonds us. We all love pro wrestling, and there's different things.
Exactly.
The ultimate variety show. It's the ultimate circus, the athletic circus, if you will.
Yeah.
If you like comedy wrestling, there's stuff in both companies that are going to keep you tuning in. If you like the best bout machines, there's stuff in both companies that will keep you entertained. If you like cinema, as it's been known to be now, then there's stuff that both companies are giving you, like this John Moxley and Will Ospreay. To an extent, that is AEW giving you a bit of cinema, where we're now watching all this stuff outside of the ring. Will Ospreay hasn't told us a story outside of the ring in a long time, and now we're getting multiple stories told. So,
yeah, and like Brady said, and I agree with his assessment. Um, you know, if you like drama, you like action. Now, listen, I grew up as a wrestling fan in the golden age of wrestling. So what that means is, ladies and gentlemen, I grew up on superstar Billy Graham. I grew up on Andre the Giant. I grew up on Bobby Heenan, Gorilla Monsoon. Those were the people. The late Hulk Hogan, the late Macho Man Randy Savage. I grew up on all of those wrestlers, folks. And as a kid, my mom took me to Madison Square Garden. And Madison Square Garden has always been a spot in my heart for many, 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 many years that I've been going to wrestling in the garden.
absolutely.
And yeah, and as a native New Yorker, folks, there's just no iconic venue like Madison Square Garden when it comes to wrestling.
Every once in a while, I see rumors that they say they're gonna ship the Garden off to Jersey or something, and I'm always like real quick to be like, "Nah, man, I can't believe it. You can't touch the Garden." Have you ever seen the movie Eddie, where Whoopi Goldberg becomes the coach of the New York Knicks. Like at the
I
end of the
know, I've
movie,
never
they're like,
seen that.
at the end of the movie, they're like, we're gonna sell the team. She's like, no, you're not. And then the entire team of the Garden join the court. The cops, they bring horses on the court. They're all like, you ain't selling this team. That's what I feel like we gotta do. Anybody try to touch the Garden?
No, there's no way you could touch that cathedral. No, there is no way. I will put anchors on that building and let it not get it moved. It's not going anywhere. That building is not going anywhere.
Yeah.
You can't walk down Seventh Avenue, Fashion Avenue, without looking at Madison Square Garden, folks. There's just no other venue, and they had renovated it, and it looks great.
Yeah.
It looks great. It's just what it is. It is what it is. Um, so let's just talk about this for a second. Brady, let me ask you a question. What is your opinion on the New Day release?
Oh God. Yeah, it's very disappointing. There's just everything about it is disappointing. But it's also one of those things where this ultimately, I believe, is going to be better for them. It's just disappointing because it's a situation where we've all known for like pretty much ever since the New Day turned and they didn't really do anything with it. And now we've been like, WWE doesn't view them the way they should. They don't respect them the way they should. They don't treat them the way they should. And last year, a lot of us breathed easy when we read that that they had just re-signed for however many years it was. I think like 3 to 5 years for 7 figures. So we're like, oh my God, like they've got to, like, even if you're not going to use the New Day, at least you're paying them right. And how much longer are you going to pay them right without using them rightly? So in my mind, I'm like, okay, they must have plans to eventually, when Xavier Woods gets healthy or whatever, bring New Day back. And then you now see that they're like, by the way, I know we just re-signed you, but we've had a change of heart. We want you to take 50% cut. Like you just, and they're okay losing the New Day. Kofi Kingston is, if not one of the most accomplished, like accolades wise, like wrestlers of all time, like right up there where like with all his US title reigns, IC title reigns, tag team title reigns, like Kofi Kingston should have been a lifer. And Xavier Woods, I've been saying this for a while now, but I consider him to be the Childish Gambino of professional wrestling. I just think there's so many different layers to him, and he's capable of so many different things. And I think I don't know what Big E's contractual status is, but I gotta believe that with him only being a commentator, in terms of outside wrestling businesses, that Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston, and probably Big E can, and I think will start. Like, I just think you're unleashing them on the world. I think they have to be a problem. Like, with all the talents they have and all the things they've dipped their toes in and have, I think I see 5 businesses minimum being formed from the New Day. And if they choose to, try to do something with wrestling, I'm curious what it will be. I'm curious if it'll be going to AEW, which I think a lot of people want, or it's something to me almost feels like that might not even be big enough for the New Day now. Like they might need to create something new. It might be the same way it was about, 10 years ago when AEW was starting to get formed and those pieces were coming together. Maybe the New Day are about to start something else. But I think it's very disappointing that WWE chose to do this. And I'm scared to see what happens moving forward in terms of like, because they said it's not like the New Day are the only people that got this offer, or not this offer, but this talk. We heard that like a majorly pushed talent accepted the 50% cut, and New Day set the standard by saying, "Nah, we know our worth, we know our value, we leaving." So it'd be very surprising if this was the end of it. We're probably going to see more people either leave or hear about more reported pay cuts. And then also, at what point do people who take cuts verge on being scabs if people like New Day are leaving,
Well, yeah, well, I agree with your assessment, Brady. And here's the thing: I was talking about this before you came in, and I gave my opinion on it. But here's the thing: TKO wanted to put restrictions on the New Day. The New Day said no. We're not doing restrictions. We're not. You just re-signed us. We just re-signed the contract. Why are you tinkering with it? And I think that was an issue. That was a major big issue. So after they were trying to put the restrictions on the New Day says, "Well, we're out of here.
Yeah.
We're out of here. We're done." And it seems to be very weird that we don't have the New Day on WWE TV. It's going to be weird, but I mean,
But
I just thought
thing,
it was a
we barely
miscarriage of
had
justice.
them. But like that's just the thing. We barely had them on TV for like the past, it feels like year, if not year plus. Like
Right.
the worst thing about it in terms of on-air content for now is that it looked like whoever was doing it, and they were only giving us maybe 2 minutes of it a week, but they were cooking with the Kofi Kingston Javon Evans story that was being told. I don't know where Xavier Woods played a part in that, because this was kind of a Kofi story, and if anything, a Kofi splitting with Grayson story and possibly trying to mentor Javon. But I wanted to know where that went, and we don't get to see that anymore. So I think that's very interesting. Like I think that's us missing out on the future. But honestly, WWE made it very clear what they think of New Day, and I think they think New Day's time is done. And I think New Day disagrees, and I think a lot of people like myself disagree as well.
Yeah, I disagree with the whole process. It's just like what they did with the Wyatt Six.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was shocked at that, because here's the thing. I said this last week on my show. I don't know. I know you're a very busy person, like I know everybody is, but you can always go back in my archives on my YouTube channel and you can watch exactly what I said about the Wyatt Six. I mean, this was absolutely a spit in the face of the legacy of Bray Wyatt. Because the WWE, first of all, the WWE refused to put Bray Wyatt in the Hall of Fame for some unknown reason, some strange reason. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But
I think it'll
and
happen.
then yeah, and then they take the Wyatt Six, and all they used them for was vignettes, and they were feuding with the MFT, which became boring after a while. So it was just to me, it was just a miscarriage of justice when you spit on the legacy of Bray Wyatt. I mean, now I know people will disagree with me with that, but I'm not going to trample on anyone's thought process. But in my eyes and in my opinion, because I can't speak for everyone, and I just felt it was a miscarriage of justice on the legacy of Bray Wyatt.
Yeah. No, I mean WWE is at a point where they don't prioritize the tag division. They don't prioritize the stables. I was happy to see Fatal Influence come up as a trio, as a full stable from NXT,
Right.
simply because it feels so. I can't remember the last time a stable actually didn't break up in NXT before, or even a tag team. Like the last stable I can think of that actually made an NXT call up was Sanity, and that is a
Right.
miscarriage of justice because they didn't bring up Nikki Cross with them. They did nothing with Sanity, and everyone had to
Right.
go their separate ways now. So really, WWE does not like they just. It's sad the way they do teams, the way they do stables. They just it's a lot of questionable stuff, and then with the TKO overall, we don't even really know who to blame anymore because we look back at what Triple H was doing with NXT, and he used to cook with NXT, and Shawn Michaels is cooking with NXT, and Undertaker is cooking with AAA. So why all of a sudden is our main problems with the main roster when the main roster is being run with the guy that we used to think was going to be answer to all our problems? And I hate Triple H
Right.
looking for the record. Like I really think the guy just the only reason he was good in NXT was because he looked as NXT as like the company, the show from WWE for the indie fans. So he knew how
Right.
to do that, but he doesn't think that that type of content belongs on main roster. So now, you know what I mean? Like it's the
Yeah.
same way he
No.
said Sean
No.
Waltman was like the best worker of the clique, but Sean Waltman is easily the least accomplished of the clique. And I think Triple H sees nothing wrong with that. Whereas I think that whole thing makes no sense.
Yeah, I agree. Again, I agree with the assessment. Because here's the thing with Triple H's booking. Sometimes it has destined for greatness, and then there are times where it just doesn't make sense. It don't make no sense. It's like, what are you doing? It's like, what are you? And then the thing is I'll give you an example. WrestleMania, when they had the feud between Rhodes and Orton cooking with gas, and then Triple H he allowed TKO to muddle their
We don't know. We
nose
don't
in.
know if he's allowing anything. Like we don't know. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
yeah,
Everyone thinks TKO is the
allegedly.
boss. So like we don't know what's up. You know, like that's what I'm saying.
Right, right. But okay, I'm going to use the word allegedly.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to use the word allegedly. They had TKO stick their nose where it didn't belong. Put in these celebrities and this stupid thing. I mean, that was the worst reveal I've ever seen on SmackDown. That has to have been one of the worst SmackDown episodes I've ever seen. Um, when you add McAfee on the phone, I mean that was ridiculous. I mean that just didn't make any sense.
No, it
That
didn't.
didn't
It didn't.
that didn't make no sense.
You
And you
know,
ruined the feud. You
they really
ruined
did
it.
to the point where now Randy Orton needs to stay away from the title for a while, probably till the end of the year. And really, just a few months ago, we were all salivating for number 15. We all wanted it. We still want it. So what's going on? And like, I think people have really just gotten really bored of Cody's reign. Like, I don't think it's hitting the way people they want it to hit. Um,
Well, yeah. Well, I agree. I agree. Well, did you see the dislike when he won back the title? The
right.
dislike was overwhelmingly.
Yeah.
I mean, you ruined the feud, and that was what I was angry with because I was so frustrated, and I wanted to choke whoever was in charge of this feud because it was like, why did you stick him in here? Why did you have to stick this person in here? What was that? What was that for? What was that for? It was going good. You had it on the track, and then you made it derail.
Yeah. No, it's just I mean, this is the type of year where WWE either tries experiments and we love them because it's things we never expect. Like one might happen in Backlash, like if Jacob Fatu beats Roman Reigns. That's going to be like a cool experiment where it seems like a shot of adrenaline might get shot right back into the company. And then other times it just feels like they do things that make no sense, like get rid of the roster and just drop storylines at random. Like a lot of people are hoping Kari Sane returns at Backlash, but I don't even know if WWE cares that much. Like
Well,
it's
she went home. She went home. She
yeah,
went home.
but if she came back, if she came back today to be in town for Backlash Saturday, we wouldn't know. Like they'd keep that under wraps,
Yeah,
and
that is
they'd
true.
make sure that every tweet about her going home got retweeted and reposted. They'd make
Right,
They'd make sure she was posting pictures of her in a Japanese Starbucks, like you know what I mean. Like, so if they
right,
want to make
exactly.
this a certain thing, they can do that.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, Brady. I don't put that past WWE because they can flip the script on you in a matter of minutes.
Yeah,
Just when you think we know something. It's like the late Roddy Piper says. You know the questions, and I'll change the answers.
did he reverse that?
Huh?
He said when you think you have all the answers, I change the question.
Yeah, yeah,
You reversed them.
yeah. I think I did. I think I did reverse it. I'm sorry.
No, you did. You did.
Yeah, I did. My bad.
I was
Anyway.
like, Roddy didn't say that, did he?
No, no. Um, all right, folks. Thank you for watching the Wrestling Experience. My name is Earl Cole. That is Brady from Heel Marks, and we are live here at Live Can Be on the internet. And like I said, please make sure you hit the like button and you make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel. And of course, follow Brady on all social media platforms, and he's good at what he does. But make sure that you have the correct change, or else Mr. Brady will make you snap tap on that. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, let's talk about backlash for a second. Let's talk about backlash. We're jumping all over the place now. Let's talk about backlash, folks. All right. Let's talk about this Seth Rollins Braun Breaker match. Brady, what do you make of that feud so far?
I mean, it's tough. It's tough to grade it only because we've had so many. They've had to make so many pivots. Everyone getting hurt. Seth, like you've got this entire stable built around Seth Rollins, Bronson Reed, and Braun Breaker. Literally, all three of them just go down one after the other. So, but I like that Braun. Like it made sense for Braun to take Seth out and cost him his WrestleMania match. It makes sense. I'm glad Braun's back so we can get the Braun-Seth feud. Because Seth feuding with Paul Heyman made no sense. Because Paul Heyman didn't turn on Seth. Paul Heyman didn't want to turn on Seth. He was under duress. You know what I mean? It was Braun that made the decision. Bronson Reed backed his decision up. And Paul Heyman, out of survival instincts, was like, okay, screw you, Seth. I got to do what I got to do. But Seth actually coming back and being like, Paul Heyman, I hate you. Like, that made no sense. So I'm glad Braun and Seth can get this done. I do think Braun Breaker is going to win. I think I don't know if he does it super clean. I don't know if maybe Bronson Reed makes a return. Maybe Austin Theory and Logan Paul get involved. Remind us all that they are the Vision. But yeah, I do enjoy it. I do enjoy what happens, and I think this is once again a chance to get Braun Breaker back on track to being the star we all know him to be, the future star, the future champ.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in the opposite direction.
Ooh.
And I'm going to give the edge to Rollins. Now, like you said, Brady, and I agree with you wholeheartedly. We're going to get some interference in this match. This match is not going to be clean. It's what I like to call shenanigans. There's going to be a lot of shenanigans, and I hate shenanigans in matches. Can't stand it. I don't mind interference once in a while, but when you use it too much, no, no, that's not for me. I like clean finishes, but we all know WWE is allergic to clean finishes. They are allergic to it. They don't like clean finishes. Now, at WrestleMania night number 2, we did get some clean matches. We did get clean matches, which I was very shocked at. That we got some clean matches. So, yeah, so I have Rollins. We're kind of split here, folks. I have Rollins winning the match over Braun Breaker.
I got Braun Breaker.
I think Rollins needs to get revenge on Breaker after what he did at WrestleMania, after what he's been doing to him on Raw. I think it's time that he gets his flowers on Braun Breaker, and I think that's exactly what Seth's going to do here. But I could be like I said, Brady could be right. We could have Braun Breaker's hand get raised. Huh?
I said me being right happens occasionally. It happens once in a while.
Right. Right. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that match. The Danhausen match, the tag team match. Now this is not pay-per-view worthy. This is not pay-per-view worthy, folks.
But isn't it one of those? Isn't it the free match? Like this is one of the aren't they still doing that thing from WrestleMania where the first 2 matches are free and then you got to pay for the rest? Which is kind of ridiculous, paying like $10 a match if you're only paying for the 3 matches. But also, I don't know, man. I like Danhausen, and I like Miz and Kit Wilson getting on pay-per-view. I think it's we got to see where they take this, but I don't mind this. I think Danhausen. There's money in Danhausen, and I think Miz and Kit Wilson are very entertaining. I don't mind this at all.
Yeah,
this is my type of sports entertainment.
I'm glad that you like it because I'm not a fan of the Miz. I'm a big fan
of the Miz.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm happy
Like the
for
same
you.
way, the same way you came up on like, we were talking about like Bobby Heenan, and then I came up on watching him on the Real World Road Rules Challenge, bro. Like I
right.
remember him saying, "I'm gonna be a WWE superstar," and now he is. And I think he's one of the best around. I really do think he's one of the better wrestlers in
Wow.
wrestling. Yeah, like
Yeah.
overall.
Yeah. I'm just not a fan of him.
I'm
I'm
amazed.
just not.
Guy.
I'm not. And if you all don't know the story, I've been saying it for many years now. During a live event of a house show, The Miz came out and I fell asleep. I fell asleep on the Miz match and I was bored to tears. It, I'm just not a fan of him. I'm just not a fan of the Miz. It's just something about him. Just don't do it for me. And
Do you
as
have
far as
any?
Kit Wilson,
Do you have any
yeah, well,
picks for who you think Danhausen's partner is going to be, though?
um, I mean, I don't know. He cursed so many people backstage. I don't, if it was me, if it
But
was me,
he might be cursing people as favors to other people. If I curse your enemy, you gonna be cool with me, right?
well, yeah, I
He
guess
just
that's
he cursed the Hawks for us, bro. Like he cursing the Sixers now. Like I'm Team Danhausen. Let's go. Just curse everyone but the Knicks, bro.
right, exactly. You're right about that. You're right about that. As far as the mystery partner goes, I don't know. I mean, who would really want to team with Danhausen? I mean, it could be R-Truth. They could come out with R-Truth with it. Um, there's so many people back there that he could be a tag team partner with.
I'll
Um,
tell you my prediction after you put yours in, but I'll be honest with you. My co-host Danielle, I think she has the right prediction. I think her prediction is right. So I'll tell you mine after yours, but then I'll tell you hers after mine.
oh, okay, all right. So I think Danhausen's going to win this match.
I agree.
Danhausen and that mystery man, it's going to win this match. They're going to win the match. I'm not quite sure who the mystery opponent is, folks. It could be a list of people. I
It,
mean, like I said, it could be R-Truth. It could be anybody. It could be anybody. As long as they're prominent in the pay-per-view, as long as they're on television, and they can get out there and they can mix it up with Danhausen and be the partner. I mean, it could be John Cena because John Cena's going to make an announcement. He's making a big announcement
wait,
Saturday night.
here's my prediction for that. If it is John Cena, we won't see him. Danhausen's just gonna tell us Cena's the partner, but we won't see him because he's invisible. And so, like, that's gonna be.
Oh,
And
okay.
like,
Oh,
if they do say Cena's the partner, we will not see Cena actually wrestle the match. It will just be Cena's the partner because there's nobody showing.
oh.
That's what I think about that. Um,
No, go
yeah,
ahead. Go ahead. Your prediction.
the masked menace of media. He came out with a prediction that I think is fun. He says Mystery Iguana would be a fun
Oh,
partner.
okay.
And I could see Mystery Iguana and Danhausen, the face paint connection. I could see that being a thing.
Right.
I went with somebody mainly just because this is like we know Danhausen is in real life friends with this person. It has not been hidden. Pepsi Phil, CM Punk is not booked for the show. So I think there's a chance CM Punk actually just comes out. Danhausen shocks Miz and Kit Wilson like, oh my God, they just got the former champion to be our partner. GTS is to everybody. Danhausen gets the pin. However, Danielle, my co-host, I think she nailed it because she thinks that Danhausen needs a partner that he doesn't actually have to get to agree to it. He needs a partner where all he has to do is say his name and he'll appear. So Danielle thinks Joe Hendry is going to be the partner of Danhausen. Which
Ah.
also would kind of work. Like I think like either way, I think those would be fun.
I think those. I think that's some solid booking there from you guys.
We
I
trying.
like it. No, I think you succeed. To be honest, you want me to be perfectly honest with you. I didn't even think about Joe Henry, but I think if Joe Henry's in the match, I mean, whoever it is, they're gonna make Danhausen win this match. They're gonna make him go over in this match. There's no way the Miz and Kip Wills are gonna win this match. There's no way. I would be shocked if that happens.
Right.
I would be shocked if that happens because Danhausen is making his pay per view debut, and there's just you know me and debuts. I always say the obvious. There's no way they're gonna make the man lose on his first night on pay per view. I mean, come on now. The
Right.
Miz and Kip Wilson have been on pay per view. They've been there. They've been there, done that. Danhausen needs a. If the crowd likes it and you like it and everyone else likes it, I mean, give him the win. Give him the win.
Yeah, no, I think Danhausen needs to win. So like and that's another reason that makes like the partner pick so out there, because you do think Danhausen still got to be like the star somehow. So yeah, I think either way this will be a fun one though.
Yeah, well, yeah. Like I said, not a fan of it. Not a fan of it. I don't think it belongs in the roster on the pay per view roster. But okay, okay. Okay, fine. We're gonna get some entertainment out of this match, and look for the referee, the one that he cursed before to be in this match, Mr. Dan England, the one that he cursed and his arm went dead or whatever. Yeah, that. Yeah, they're gonna have some shenanigans with that. Um, Io Sky is gonna take on Asuka. Here's the problem that I had with the feud. Like I said, Kyrie Singh was involved in this feud, and then they let her go, which would made no sense in the feud. I think it was dumb. It was a dumb move by TKO and WWE to do that. Um, because now you removed her from the feud, and you confused the crap out of everyone. Everyone says, "Where's Kyrie?" Then when we looked on the internet, then everybody was doing a petition to WWE to bring her back, and it went on deaf ears. So apparently Kyrie Singh went home, and now Io Sky has to deal with Asuka here in this match. I don't. This match could go just swing either way. It could swing either way in this match. The pendulum could swing either way. But I think Asuka's gonna find a way to win this match. She's gonna miss her or something. She's gonna do something to her, something devious. Oscar's gonna do because Oscar's when she's alone in the ring, folks. When Oscar is alone in the ring, she will be devious, and Io Sky is like a lamb to the slaughter because she have no idea what she's dealing with when it comes to Oscar.
You see, I'm not agreeing with you here, because here's the thing. Maybe that would have been true like last week, but we just watched on Raw. Io Sky thought she could get face to face, nose to nose, got boom, blasted in the face. So I think Io Sky's taking notes now. So I'll be honest, my prediction, switch up. I think Io Sky is going to be able to like counter or avoid the miss this time. And Io Sky going to have misses of her own. She going to give Asuka a taste of her own medicine. She going to give Asuka I think Io Sky takes it. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I really do. I hope they give this match time though. Like, but that's
yeah.
where I'm seeing this one going.
Yeah, I hope they give this match time, and I hope the crowd is into it because, as you all know, folks, when women's wrestling comes out of the curtain, the crowd goes dead. The crowd just.
I don't necessarily agree with that. I think especially with Io Sky and Asuka, their entrances really wake the crowd up. Io Sky, everybody's doing the emo, getting into it.
Yeah. You're right. You're right.
I think the women wrestlers are better than the men, if I'm being honest with you. Like I do.
Yeah, but yeah, I agree with you with that. But the problem
push it to the same, relevancy. But
no, right.
I think especially this story that fans wanted to see on Mania. And like now they finally see it on Backlash. I think the fans are actually there for this. I think the women might even steal the show.
Wow. All right. Because here's the thing with women's wrestling, and I've seen this in AEW and I've seen this in WWE. The crowd just stays silent. They're not reacting to what's going on in the ring. I've seen people on television I look in the audience. I've seen people texting. I see people getting up. I see people going to the bathroom. I see people going to the concession stand. I see people talking to their neighbors. They're not paying attention to anything that's going on in the ring. And these women are busting their behinds in the ring, doing all these dangerous moves, these dangerous bumps, and you all are not reacting to it. Like, what are you watching? It's like this match should have been booked in a library. I'm like, what is happening here? Like, what is going on? Like, what are you all doing? Me, I'm the opposite. I'll sit there live. I'll see a women's match. I see all these hellacious bumps, and I'll be hooting and hollering all over the place. I'll be carrying on. I'll be like, I can't believe she took that bump. But you all don't. You all are not me, and you don't act like like you. I don't know, like what's the problem here. But like Brady said, I hope that they give this match enough time. They don't rush it, and I want to see Io really and truly take it to Oscar here. I agree with your prediction. I think that Io might have a trick up her sleeve with Oscar. But like I said, Oscar's dangerous. Oscar is dangerous. She's not to be toyed with.
Right. No, I
She's
agree
not to
with that
be.
one. But I think she showed her hand a little early. I think she's given EO too many times to take notes and learn her lesson. So I think EO Sky is going to come in with some tricks up her sleeve that Oscar won't see coming.
All right. Well, we're gonna have to find out and see about that. That's gonna be an interesting match. Um. All right, folks. The main event of Backlash. The main event. Roman Reigns will take on Jacob Fatu. The feud has been hot. The feud has been hot. I don't mind the feud whatsoever. The only concern that I have here is that after the match, how long is the WWE going to push Roman Reigns, and how much more are we going to see him on television? Because this is the thing. Now that he's won the title back, that was my major concern, was that you're going to put him back in part-time mode and we won't see him for months. Now I don't want to see that happen again because we already experienced that and the fans were not happy with that. We need to see Roman Reigns in a full-time mode where he's on television, that belt is prominent on television, and he's not making the title relevant. I want to see him on WWE TV consecutively so that this way we can lead up to his next opponent and we can find out exactly what's going to happen here. Because we have Clash in Italy coming up. We've got the Night of Champions coming up. We've got SummerSlam coming up. So we got these big events going on. We got all of this going on, and Roman Reigns needs to be part of all of that. So that is the only thing that I'm concerned with here. As far as the match goes, as long as the match goes, Jacob Fatu is not winning the title. He's not winning the title. He's going to give Roman Reigns a run for his money. That's for sure. But Roman just won the title. So why would you take it off of him and give it to Jacob Fatu? That don't make no sense. That don't make no sense in the booking world.
So here's what I think. Here's the way I see this, and the biggest thing to me, and we're gonna know a lot more tomorrow after we watch SmackDown. But from
right.
last week's SmackDown, I'm taking a lot from the tiniest little thing we got, which was the inclusion of Royce Keys. The fact that we're now knowing that Royce Keys and Jacob Fatu, they go way back. And Royce Keys was even saying like, yo, Roman's on top again. You know what that means. It almost feels like they had this conversation. So me in my storytelling mode, I'm trying to like fill in the blanks. I'm thinking maybe back in the day, because Jacob Fatu's already told us when Roman and the Bloodline was running things, where was he? Jacob was in the cage. So maybe Royce was visiting Jacob. Yo, I seen your cousin on TV. They put anything in your commissary? Nope. I seen your cousin on TV. They come to see you? Nope. I seen your cousins on TV. You blah, 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 blah. No. So maybe Royce and Jacob literally talked about this back 8 years ago, however long it was, where like, yo, if Roman ever gets that to the top again, I'm taking it all from him. So I'll be honest, bro. I think Jacob's winning. I'm going with the big time upset. I think Jacob's taking it. I might even think like Jay and Jimmy might not be as loyal to Roman as as we think they are, and nor should they be. Roman Reigns never actually turned babyface. He just lost his title, and then the fans decided they loved him. Magically, overnight, he loses his title to Cody. This is what people prayed for 4 years. And the next night, they're cheering for him. Solo says he's not the tribal chief. They're booing him. Like, that whole thing was ridiculous. And so Roman never had to say he was sorry. He did Paul Heyman wrong. He sat at home for no reason while Paul Heyman got abused by his cousins and the Tongans and all of them. He has never been there to help the Usos win tag titles or retain tag titles. He lets them win and lose them all on his own. But his title wins have often come with the help of them. Roman's never actually paid for his sins. He just went away and came back. So I think we still might have to actually see Roman pay for his sins. And one of his sins might have been not being the best cousin to Jacob when he was locked away and he was running things, getting acknowledged by everybody in every city. So I think the Usos might get involved. I think Royce might get involved. I think Solo and Tala and maybe even Tama might get involved. I think we might see a changing of the guard, a new bloodline.
Wow. I don't know what to say about that. I think I need to retire. I think I might have to retire.
I mean, listen, bro. I'm going for the upset, right? The smart money. The smart money is your right.
Yeah, no. I mean, look, listen. I mean, I always like fresh and new. I don't fight that feeling. You know what I'm saying? I don't. I think that's great booking by you. You know, as you all know, folks, the MFTs are down a couple of men because, as you know, JC Mateo is no longer with WWE, and neither is Tama Tonga. So,
Tongaloa. Tama Tonga, we don't know.
Oh, Tongaloa left WWE. Okay.
I heard rumors because we haven't really heard from Tama Tonga, but they have not reported that he's released yet. It was Tongaloa.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you for that correction, Brady. Thank you. You're wrong. Thank you. So yeah. So we're at a split level, folks. We're at a split level.
We've been splitting on most of these, actually. One of us is going to be right. One of us is going to be wrong on a lot of these.
Right. So, like I said, folks, on and popping fresh and the same stagnant. So, we're going to see what happens. What water the WWE will drink. And what their procedure. And I'm gonna tell you something. That Tonga grip there that he's got there, that Samoan death grip, that thing is no joke.
Right.
That thing is no joke.
Great job of selling it and telling the history of it, the origin of it, the fact that we're all taught this, but we're taught to only use it in the last resort. Like we was just having a conversation. You just keep pulling it out all willy nilly. That ain't right.
Exactly. And I was just like, when he was using it on Roman, and Roman was selling it very well. And I saw the way he looked. He looked like he was turning blue there because he was crushing his Adam's apple. Right. And he was really, I mean, he had his hands firmly around his throat and he was choking him. Now, folks, if this happens in the match and Roman can't breathe, the referee will have no alternative but to ring the bell because his health is on the line. Yeah, we're gonna see what happens. We're gonna see what happens here.
It's gonna be interesting.
It's gonna be, very interesting. It's gonna be a wild, woolly affair, to say none the least.
I always remind people that Backlash is the same pay-per-view that Randy Orton, who had just won the title at WrestleMania, lost it to Jinder Mahal of all people. This happened at Backlash. Everyone goes into Backlash assuming that they can't get anything big because WrestleMania is where we just got Roman just won the title, Trick just won the title, but it's Backlash, man. Anything could happen at Backlash.
Yeah, that's true. And speaking of Trick Williams, folks, we're gonna have a triple threat match for the United States Championship.
Wait, wait,
Oh,
what? I don't think I know this.
yeah,
I think you're breaking ground to
yeah,
me.
yeah. This was news to me, but this is courtesy of CBS Sports, folks. This is courtesy of CBS Sports. Now, they wrote down here, we're going to have Trick Williams versus Sami Zayn versus Carmelo Hayes. Now, I didn't hear this. I didn't hear this from the internet. I didn't read it anywhere. Why is Carmelo Hayes been added here?
I'm
Or is
on.
this a typo?
I mean, it could be a spoiler for if they have plans for tomorrow, but I just rushed to the Backlash website here, and they've got Sammy and Trick as a one-on-one match. And in the past
Okay.
few weeks, with them feuding over the Gingerbread Man, Carmelo has seemingly
Okay.
disappeared from sight. So I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't believe so. Currently, according to WWE.com, we've got a singles match at Backlash, but
Okay, so CBS Sports probably got that wrong.
I mean, unless
Okay,
they spoiled it, unless it happens tomorrow.
I don't know.
I
We'll
don't think
find
so.
out
Because like I
about.
said, Carmelo's kind of like they kind of just banished him from this.
Yeah, exactly. And I know the fans wanted a triple threat match at WrestleMania, but like I
I
said
was cool with a
in
four-way.
my
I wanted both Mello and Ilya to get added because Mello and Ilya were telling a great story about that title, and now it's both just forgotten.
yeah, but the thing is that I made the point, and everybody did agree with me. You couldn't take away the shine I mean, you couldn't take the shine away from Trick Williams because this was his first WrestleMania match, and
Agreed.
you really don't want to add any more toys to the mix. So I agree with WWE's decision there. That was a great decision by WWE, by the way. But this gingerbread storyline thing is absolutely ridiculous. It's stupid. It don't belong in the feud. It's not. The feud needs to be plain. It don't need any added elements to it. See, that's a problem when you build up a wrestling feud. You have to have attention to detail. This is not detail oriented. You don't need any more to it. What they're telling, the story that they're telling is fine the way it is. You don't need to add anything more to it. I thought it was just ridiculous. And now tomorrow we have to sit through a funeral for the gingerbread man. I think it's ridiculous. It's a stupid storyline.
Yeah,
They're
and
making a
especially
mockery.
because once again, this is WWE trying too hard because Trick Williams is like the most wanted superstar. Like the fans just want to go there and experience his entrance. And in your faulty booking of Sami Zayn, you turned him into a great heel once again. So really, just let this feud be about the title, be about Trick thinking he's the greatest, and Sammy going through a crisis of character. I don't need this gingerbread funeral. Trick
No,
Williams
you
is great
don't.
at everything he does, but this is making us all roll our eyes. Like, oh, why? This is the best you can come up with. This is a
Yeah,
generational talent here.
I mean, even last week, Sami Zayn was talking to Nick Aldis backstage, and even you can see the two of them faces. They just really thought it was dumb. And, I mean, it just looks dumb on paper. It's ridiculous. It's not necessary. This funeral segment is. I'm not gonna watch it. I'm not gonna watch it. I refuse to sit there as a wrestling fan and watch that. I mean, because it's ridiculous. It's dumb. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of space on SmackDown, and they keep playing hot potato with the SmackDown runtime. Now we're going back to 2 hours again. And then in January we're going to go back to 3 hours. So they're playing hot potato with the runtime, and they're missing the boat when it comes to storylines of the show, and they're making the show suffer. And that's something that is making me upset as a fan because the ticket sales are suffering too. They're having trouble selling tickets to SmackDown because people are frustrated with the storyline. They're frustrated with all the stuff that they're trying to do here to save the show, and it's not working. Instead of focusing on the storylines that could bring you prominence, you're not doing it. and you're not listening to anyone else. So it's I don't know. I mean I'm just that's just my rant on it.
I'm
I'm
with you. I'm
sorry.
with you. This is one of
I
those.
just
I think people will still be interested in their backlash match, but nothing that the funeral gives us tomorrow is going to have anything to do with it. It's just the work rate of Sammy and Trick and the interest level in both superstars.
yeah, and I'm not interested in this segment, folks. I'm just not interested. I will do something else. I will phone a friend. I will do something else. But I will not be watching that segment. Once the segment comes on, I'm gonna be tuned out of it because it's just not necessary. The feud the feud speaks for itself. I mean, Sami Zayn is delusional. He thinks that fans love him. And when he was at WrestleMania, the fans booed the crap out of him. They certainly did.
I love that version of this Sammy heel. I love heel Sammy. Like I think WWE keeps botching face Sammy because they keep getting him to a point where they could make him world champion, and then they take way too long and they just botch it, and then they have to bring him back to heel status to eventually get fans back to loving him to turn his heel to a face. We saw it happen with the Bloodline. We're going to see it happen again. But yeah, so I love the heel character that is delusional enough to think that everyone loves him, that he's the hero. Like I love that heel. So I really do like Sammy going back to heel. And I hope that they take heel Sammy all the way to the world championship. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I agree with you, Brady. I mean, we have to see what happens here. But Trick Williams is going to retain. Trick
Yes.
Williams
Yes.
is going to retain
Yes.
the
We finally
United.
agree, brother. We finally agree on one. Trick.
Yeah, yes, you ain't going to have a retainment, and we got to agree with Flex Freedom Ring, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, yes, we're going to have a retainment here. Yes. All right, folks. So that is your backlash predictions, folks. Those are your backlash predictions. Don't forget, folks, backlash will happen this Saturday night, Mother's Day Eve. And I want to wish everyone a happy Mother's Day weekend to everybody out there. And
All the
you,
moms.
yeah, all the moms out there who do their due diligence. Happy Mother's Day to you. Um, so yeah, so that is backlash. So now we're gonna focus on Dynamite. Dynamite last night was in the Carolinas, and it was a good show. It wasn't a bad show. It was dedicated to Ted Turner, and as you all know, folks, Ted Turner passed away yesterday. We lost Ted Turner, and what a pioneer man in television he was. If you all remember WCW days and how he defeated WWE Raw consecutively every Monday night, Ted Turner Broadcasting really and truly brought wrestling to the forefront. And they did a 10 bell salute to Ted last night. And AEW really did well. This was a good segment. This was a very good segment. And I give thumbs up to Tony Khan for doing that. Um, so MJF and of course Darby Allen. You know something, folks? Darby Allen. Oh my gosh, this guy. Woo boy. He is like putting his foot on the gas pedal when it comes to this title. His title run
He's
so
he's
far
he's
is
not gonna be champion for a long time. He's gonna be champion for a good.
new.
Yeah, like he's not trying to keep that title for very long.
No, but his title matches, boy. I am telling you something, boy. Woo boy. He takes a licking and keeps on ticking like a Timex watch.
He's gonna be a
This guy,
very memorable champion for sure.
oh yeah,
Even if it ends in a week or two.
right. MJF wants the title back.
And he might be
So,
willing to lose his hair to get it.
we're gonna see what happens. We're gonna see what happens if he agrees to the stipulation.
I think
I
he
never heard of this before. This is a first in wrestling.
hair
This
for
is a
title.
Yeah, this is a first for me. I've never heard of this before. I've never heard this kind of booking before. Tony Khan. Well, you know something, folks. Double or Nothing is award-winning pay-per-view, and it's not just me saying it. It's Sports Illustrated says it. It's the Bleacher Report says it. Who am I trying to imitate? You know what? It's Becky Lynch. Anyway, anyway, so that's Double or Nothing. That's Double or Nothing, and I'm going to be part of Double or Nothing, folks. I can't wait to go to Queens, New York. I'm going to be in the audience, folks. I'll be live and in living color and along with all the fans. So far, folks, we have 1.5K tickets so far sold for this event, and
Wow.
it keeps on growing. It keeps on growing for Tony Khan. This is going to be a massive audience. It's going to be a big crowd. It's going to be a fun night of wrestling. It's going to be a long night of wrestling because we all know Tony Khan likes long evening
Bro,
wrestling.
I love those shows, but the last time I was there, AEW was nice enough. I want to say it was Full Gear. They were nice enough to allow me to come as press, so I got to do the press conference afterwards. Bro, when I tell you we did not get out of there until like 2 a.m. Like, and I gotta take a train back to Brooklyn. Like, bro, I think I'm pretty sure I ended up just taking an Uber because I don't think I think I had to wait for like 45 minutes for the next train. And I was like, nah, I'm not doing this. So I think I got like a $25-$30 Uber from there.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm going to tell you something, folks. I attended Full Gear in Newark, and I'll tell you this much, folks. I missed my last pass train because of just the Tony Khan.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
I missed the last pass train out of Newark, folks. Thanks to Tony Khan. Yeah, I had to find alternative means to get home back to New York City.
That's
Um,
the same thing.
yeah, yeah. So we are in the same boat. We're in the same boat. Here with Tony Khan because he
I think
likes those.
trying to give us our money's worth. And I'll be honest, I don't know if I'd mind it if they had their show. Like, I'd like their show to start earlier. If like you can get us out by like 9 to 10, like that time. If you got to start at like 5 or 6, like I'm cool with that. But like 6 to 10 doesn't even feel like it should be. Like 4 hours should be more than enough time for a wrestling pay-per-view. Like,
Yeah,
so I
yeah,
really, you know what I mean? Like, so that even the people doing the press conference get them out of there by like 12, and we're still kind of like cutting it, but like, let's start earlier, end earlier.
right.
I wouldn't mind that, getting out by like 9-10. Like, that'd be nice.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you with that. Because I remember Arthur Ashe. If you won't remember Arthur Ashe Stadium, AEW was in there
Yeah.
multiple times.
Yeah.
And we did a pay-per-view in there. And I'll tell you this one. We did a Dynamite in there. Excuse me, not a pay-per-view, a Dynamite, and that ran
Grand
long.
Slam, right? Yeah.
Yeah, the Grand Slam. I did it twice, ladies and gentlemen. Now
Me
I'll tell you
too.
this much. Yeah, I'll tell you this much, folks. I have done 17 AEW events so far. This is going to be number 17 for me. This is 17. And I'm going to tell you something, folks. I always have a good time, but let me tell you something. When I leave that arena, I am exhausted. I don't want to talk about wrestling anymore because of Tony Khan and his marathon. I mean, come on. I love you, Tony Khan, from afar, but boy, oh boy, can you really do pay-per-views, boy? Wow. The last pay-per-view that I did, and I did it live on YouTube. We did 12 matches. Okay,
Yeah. That's like
so
the norm.
those
They
were
do
long.
Texas like with every pay-per-view. It's crazy.
Yeah,
Sometimes
so I
15.
had
They'll have like 12 announced and they'll add like another bonus match and another
right,
bonus.
exactly, exactly. Well, here's the thing with the pre-show matches. I want to see the pre-show matches make sense. You can't put everything on a pay-per-view. Everything cannot fit in a pay-per-view. You just can't. Can't do it. So if you're going to do pre-show matches, make sure it makes sense. Don't make it 4 matches. Don't do that. Just make 2 or 3, and that's it. And then that's it. You don't need any more after that. You
Right.
don't need any more after that. I think 2 or 3 is fine. And then we cut into the main show because I'm sure the main show is going to be long. It's going to be a long evening of wrestling. Because I know him. I know him. He'll put everything on that main card, and that's going to be so loaded. And we got a long way to go. And so that's just my advice for Tony Khan. That's just my advice. If you want to keep it neat and keep it tight. Um, so MJF is going to have to make a decision here next week. Do you want to take on Darby Allin for the title in a hair versus title match?
I'm thinking that there might be a chance that MJF in real life has secured himself another movie role, but maybe one that requires not necessarily him to go bald, but maybe just the hair has to go. Maybe he has to get a crew cut, so he's kind of like, I might as well lose my hair on wrestling, give it to the fans, disappear as a bald man, go do my movie, and then I can come back and wreak havoc.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that
There's also a
again.
chance. There's also a chance that MJF ain't losing his hair, and this is the end of Darby's reign already. That the devil takes back his due.
I mean, MJF is very tricky
Right.
when it comes to his pay-per-view matches.
I don't even
He will do.
other than the heat-seeking missile like DDT. Really, his finisher is just cheating. Like he's just a cheater. That's what he does.
Yeah, I mean, you know something. I don't mind cheating in matches once in a while. Once in a while. Yeah, no. I listen. I debated a lot of people on this. And my thing is that you don't need to cheat all the time. You don't need. I understand he's a heel. I get it.
So he's a heel's heel.
Yeah, I know. But here's the thing: a heel could always win clean. You could always win your match clean as a heel. You don't need
right heel. Like MJF isn't really the heel that like Kevin Knight shouldn't lose to MJF clean. Like Kevin Knight is like a future star, and MJF is somebody that doesn't actually care what anyone thinks of him. So MJF is looking for the nearest way to kick you in your, you know what I mean? Like right there.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about having his hand raised by the ref for being the best. Now, a Brian Cage, for instance, doesn't need a cheat because the guy's a house. So I don't care that he's a heel. I don't care that Lance Archer's a heel. These guys are giants. Yeah, they can. Samoa Joe as a heel should not have to cheat to win. He can if he wants to piss people off, but Samoa Joe's also a beast. So I agree with you. Mox is another one. Like, doesn't necessarily need to cheat, even though he's got the numbers game. But MJF is kind of one of those that I do think should be cheating all the time. He's a cheater. Let him be a cheater. That's what he does.
Yeah, I don't know. That just doesn't sit right with me. I don't know. It's just, it's just like I grew up on clean finishes, and everybody knows that. And it's just that if you're a baby face or you're a heel, you should win the match clean. You really should not be using the cheating. Now, once it's fine. But when you're doing it in every match, it gets boring after a while because it gets predictable. It's like, oh yeah, well, he's gonna give him the nut shot, and the ref goes out the ring, and and here comes the interference, and it's the same thing. It's redundant. You got to think outside the box. You got to look at the overall picture, and that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. You got to have something fresh, something new, something popping for me to invest my time in. So that happened last night. We're also looking at the Anarchy Rules match again for Double or Nothing. Jericho is gonna recruit the Hurt Business, and they're gonna take on Ricochet and his cronies. And I'm gonna tell you this much: if you've never seen Anarchy in the arena match, this match is going to be woolly, wild, and all over the place.
Facts.
This match is woolly, wild, and it's you lost Brady, folks. You lost Brady. Okay, but the match is going to be woolly, wild, and all over the place. The match is going to be all it's physical. It is physical. It is hard hitting. It's woolly wild affair. And I hope Brady comes back because I had fun talking to him. Um, so so anyway, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, Dynamite wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad show last night. I gave the show a B. I gave the show a B. So let me just go back and look at my notes and see what else I got going on. Tribute to Ted Turner last night. Okay. Um, John Moxley defeated Juice Robinson. Again, another good match. I didn't have a problem with this match whatsoever. Didn't have a problem with it. The training of Will Ospreay continues with the Death Riders. Double Jeopardy match. The conglomeration defeated the AEW World Tag Team Champion Dax Harwood of FTR. Orange Cassidy defeated Dax Harwood in the match. Match was fine. The match was all right for what it was. On an entertainment level, I gave the match a 6. The match gets a 6, and it was fine for what it was. Darby Allin's match with Brody King, that was physical. That was an 8 in the entertainment level. I thought that was physical. John Moxley's match with Juice Robinson, I thought that was great. I'll give that match a 6 as well. Kevin Knight took on Darby Allin. Darby Allin defeated Kevin Knight in this match, and the match was fun. They were really and truly matching each other move for move here. And on an entertainment level, I give the match an 8. The match gets an 8 for physicality and for athleticism. So I gave that match an 8. All right, let's go down the line here. Rouge is on a roll. He took on a jobber. Nothing near to speak of. Rouge again winning his match over the jobber. Ricochet challenges Jericho to a Stadium Stampede match at Double or Nothing. We're going to see if that comes to fruition. Mina Shirakawa and Harley Cameron bring back the Wrath. I thought that was okay. The Rainmaker Okada defeated Brian Keith in a paid in full match. Thought the match was fine. On the entertainment level, I gave the match a 5. The match got a 5 for me. The Jet Kevin Knight is ready to become world champion. He declared that. Samoa Joe wants to hear from Will Ospreay, calling out Will Ospreay for his involvement with the Death Riders. Hikaru Ashida and Chris Statlander defeated Mina Shirakawa and Harley Cameron. Match was fine. Another fun tag team match. I give the match a 5 in the entertainment level. Bandito is ready for Swerve. He called out Swerve. We could see that at Double or Nothing. AEW match. Darby Allin, like I said, defeated Kevin Knight. Allin wants MJF's hair. Okada wants Allin for the AEW title, and he will get that next week on Dynamite. Speedball Mike Bailey defeated AR Fox. Thought that was a fun match. On Collision, Willow Nightingale will defend the legacy of the TBS champion every single week. Pac wants Darby for the world title. Jamie Hayter of the Brawling Birds defeated Sky Blue, the Triangle of Madness, with Takala looking on. Don Callis backs Okada for the world title. Roosh defeated Matty Lowe. No surprise there. The match gets a 1 for me. Wasn't really not much. Perry defeated Mark Davis at Fairway to Hell. I thought that was fine. And the Young Bucks, the Bang Bang Gang, and of course defeated the Death Riders and the Dogs. So that was the main event of Collision last night. And the match I gave it an 8 in the entertainment level. So apparently Brady has some internet connection issues, and he probably can't come back on here. But I want to thank Brady for coming on here tonight. I want to thank you all for watching the Wrestling Experience. And that is going to do it, folks, for the Wrestling Experience. I want to thank you all again. I'll message Brady behind the scenes, and I will thank him for his service. I want to thank you all again for watching tonight. Remember, we will have Backlash this Saturday night. I won't be broadcasting the show, but I'll be watching. You definitely know I'll be watching Backlash this Saturday night. Can't wait to watch Saturday Night Backlash. It's going to be fun. So, folks, that's going to do it for the Wrestling Experience. I want to thank you all for watching tonight. I want to appreciate you. I want to thank you again for watching tonight's extravaganza. And I want to send a very happy and healthy Mother's Day weekend to all mothers out there. And I hope you enjoy your Mother's Day. Be safe, have fun, don't drink and drive. And for all of those who don't have mothers, who have lost mothers, my deepest condolences to you and your family. And to everyone else, have a great weekend, everyone. Enjoy Backlash, enjoy Mother's Day. And I'll see you next time in cyberspace. I'm Earl Cole. Have a good night, everyone, and thank you for watching the Wrestling Experience.